when you're saying no tax increase, then that means that a homeowner, property owner, is going to see basically the same rate that they are paying for the property tax towards the district.
That's true. That is completely true. The rate that you would have paid in November, December, whenever you decide to pay your taxes, is going to be the same rate you would see in next November, December, as far as what we think the debt service. The only way that we would have a problem with that would be if our assessed evaluation was just to drop, was to stay stagnant for year after year after year after year, and then we would have to maybe do something with that debt service because we have to pay our debt. I mean, we have to. Unlike other entities, we have to pay the debt, and we can't run in the deficit. But and so that would be the only case. Now, we've been very fortunate in the Cameron area that our assessed evaluation has either went up or increased. A slight amount, or I wouldn't say a large amount, but we've went up enough to the point where that's remained fairly steady for us. We're able to count on a certain increase every year, and so that'll help tremendously. So.
You have a certain amount of the levy that goes towards debt service.
Right. 68 cents of the levy goes to debt service, and our levy is right around $4.20, and so 68 cents that will go to pay debt. And that's really good for our area, and that's a good thing. Actually, the $4.20 is really good for our area. If we compared ourselves to kind of fairly close to taking 36 over to Kansas and 35 up, in that corridor of schools, there's probably 70-ish, within that area kind of, and we would probably fall in easily the bottom third, but probably the bottom 15 schools as far as our overall levy of $4.20. I mean, we have schools in that area levies over $6, and so our $4.20 is we have a pretty good bang for our buck at Cameron, and 68 cents is really good. If you compare us south, we would even look even better compared to some of your suburban schools around Kansas City north. We would have a very comparable with $4.20 and debt service of 68 cents. Most schools in that area have debt services of well over $1, probably almost double what we have, and so we do a very good job with the money we're given by the taxpayers.
Now let's talk about, assuming that it's getting the 57% or higher, what is the timetable as far as getting the project started?
Well, the first thing would be the whole bond work and the process of that, and we've actually started on that so that when and if we pass the bond on April 8th, we're ready to move forward with the bonds. And so we have our bond underwriting company really starting to prepare all that paperwork now. The second piece will be that we'll actually, LSNOC will actually start making a very detailed plan of what the building looks like, and that puts in every piece of water pipe and every piece of electrical and conduit and all those different pieces that effectively now we just have a shell. And so that'll be the next piece, is putting those out, and then it'll be okay, now we're going to start putting that out to general contractors or however we decide to do it, and let them start bidding on the process. Our hope is that we could start having some surveying and different pieces done by July, with the possibility of, the ultimate goal would be, let's try to get something by fall 2015. That's probably a little ambitious, but, let's shoot for the stars and maybe we hit the moon. So.